Good afternoon, everyone. So ngayon, ang i-discuss naman natin is all about challenge learners. Okay, so makinig ng mabuti para marami kayong matutunan. Pero before we start, kung bago ka pa lang sa YouTube channel ko, please subscribe po to my channel and click the bell button para ma-notify ka sa next na video kong gagawin. Okay, so challenge learners. Okay, let's start. Okay, introduction. Students struggle with a lot of problems in school. These problems can range from being unable to understand math problems or not going along with their classmates. Whatever the problem is, it impacts the students' overall academic performance drastically. Hence, identifying these problems is important for their effective resolution. Moreover, empowering the students to identify and solve the problems by themselves is also important. So, ayan, lahat naman tayo nakaka-experience na ng mga problema, 'di ba? Lalo na when it comes to our studies. So, marami tayong nafe-face na challenge na kailangan natin pagdaanan, malagpasan, and syempre, masolusyonan. And itong mga challenge na to ito yung mga factors that affecting their learnings or our learnings. So, ano-ano nga ba yun? Okay, here are the main problems students face in school. First is disorganization. Some students feel difficulty in staying organized, be it preparing notes or focusing on the class lectures. They cannot perform this task properly. They keep struggling with organizing stuff and realize one day that exams are looming over. Organizing one's notes and completing the task on time should start from day one. The reason students struggle with that is they keep procrastinating. Ayan. So, na-experience ko to before. Yung tipong hindi ako marunong mag-organize ng mga gamit ko and kung saan-saan ko lang siya nilalagay and pinapatong. So, kaya in the end, nahihirapan ako, lalo na pag may quiz or exams na kasi hindi ko na alam kung saan ko nilagay yung mga notes ko noon. So, himbis na mag-review ako, ang ginagawa ko noon is hinahanap ko yung mga notes na re-reviewin ko kasi, ayun nga, nawawala siya. So, hindi ko alam kung saan ko siya nilagay. So, dati, share ko lang, pag may mga important details na sinasabi yung mga teacher ko or yung mga professor ko, sinusulat ko talaga yun sa isang scratch paper kasi mabilis kasi sila magsalita. So, napapabilis yung sulat ko doon. And, pag napapabilis yung sulat ko, napapangitan ko yung sulat ko and then after nun, saka ko siya ita-transfer sa notebook ko. So, para, kasi diba, para pag transfer ko na yung sinulat ko dun sa notebook ko, magiging maganda yung sulat ko dun and magiging maayos siya. Pero nga dahil minsan sa katamaran ko and nakakalimutan ko siyang gawin, ayun, nawawala yung mga notes ko na yun. Kaya lesson learned na yun sa akin. And masasabi ko sa sarili ko na nag-improve naman ako. Nagiging organized na rin ako sa mga bagay-bagay para hindi rin maulit yung mga ganong situations. Kaya dapat, una pa lang, or malayo pa yung exams mo, dapat naka-ready na yung mga notes mo, organized na yung lahat ng gamit mo, nakasulat na siya ng maayos sa notebook mo para hindi ka na maging uligaga maghanap or mataranta pag papalapit na yung exams mo, diba? Ayan. Okay, next is following the routine. So, many students find it difficult to follow the school routine. So, they usually stay up late at night and face difficulty getting up in the morning. Poor sleep habits affect their performance throughout the day. Ayan, sa mga mahilig magpuyat dyan. So, sleep deprivation compromises not only physical but also mental health. Okay, so sino dito palaging nagpupuyat? Ayan. So, lahat naman tayo, feeling ko, naka-experience na ng ganito, 'di ba? So, magpupuyat ka sa gabi tapos mahihirapan ka gumising na maaga kasi kulang pa yung tulog mo or puyat ka pa. So, isa din to sa mga challenges na nafe-face ng mga students natin na nakaka-apekto rin sa kanilang pag-aaral. Kasi syempre, 'di ba, kapag kulang tulog mo or puyat ka, hindi ka makakapag-isip ng maayos. Hindi magfo-function yung utak mo kasi ang nasa isip mo lang is gusto mo pang matulog. Ayan. And syempre, hindi lang sa yung pag-aaral Hindi lang sa yung pag-aaral, kundi nakakaapekto rin ito sa ating mental health. So, masama talaga magpuyat. Alam nyo yan, di ba? Pero 'di ba before, nung nagkaroon tayo ng online class, kahit maaga ka, so kahit magising ka ng 6:50 AM tapos start ng klase niyo is 7 AM, 'di ba? O-open mo lang phone mo, papasok ka lang sa Meet, tapos ayun, naka-attendance ka na agad. So, hindi ka nali-late and on time ka pa din. Kahit kagigising mo lang. Tapos, pwede ka pang kumain habang nakikinig ka sa mga lessons ng teachers mo. So, hindi tayo naghahabol sa oras kasi dito lang naman tayo sa bahay. Pero, ngayong bumalik na tayo sa face-to-face, nagigising na talaga tayo ng maaga. Kasi, kapag magising ka lang ng 6:50 AM, tapos pasok mo is 7 AM, ay naku po, taranta ka ng malala. So, hindi kaya. Late ka talaga kasi 'di ba? Maliligo ka pa, magbibihis, kakain, mag-aasikaso sa sarili mo. And kung malayo yung school mo, babiyahe ka pa tapos traffic pa, 'di ba? Ayan. So, late ka na nga tapos magpapagasolina pa yung sinasakyan mong jeep, 'di ba? Nilibot ka pa ni manong driver sa buong mundo. Ang hassle. So, nakakainis yung ganun. Kaya ngayon, sinasabi ko pa lang sa inyo, huwag na tayo magpuyat and gumising na tayo ng maaga. Okay po? Okay, next. Okay, distractions. So, in the current times, distractions have increased manifold. Video games, social media, and never-ending TV series consume most of the students' time. Ayan. Because of that, the students are unable to complete their class assignments and perform poorly in the tests. So, to deal with this problem, screen time should be limited to an hour. The rest of the day should go to studies. Ayan. So, internet addiction and procrastination is the greatest challenges that the students face today. So, bakit? Why? Diba? Simply because yung mga video games na yan, mga online games na yan nowadays, yun na kasi yung kinakaadikan ng mga bata ngayon. Lalo na yung panonood ng mga K-drama and ng mga Netflix. Ayan. So, relate ako dito kasi minsan, nagbababad din talaga ako manood. And yung pag-scroll mo sa social media na yan, ayan, so doon nauubos yung oras natin dyan. Though, hindi naman masama maglaro ng mga online games na yan or manood ng mga ganyan, pero sana may limit, 'di ba? May oras, hindi yung maghapunan na tayo dyan, diba? Yung tipong wala ka ng oras mag-study ng lessons mo, gumawa ng mga assignments mo, mag-review for your upcoming quizzes or exam, ayan. So, dapat may oras ka para dyan sa mga bagay na yan. So, ayun nga, like me, hindi ako mahilig sa mga online games na yan. So, ang ginagawa ko lang talaga kapag may free time ako is nanonood lang talaga ako. So, minsan nga, 'di ba, pag kunwari, gabi ako nanonood, so mga 9 PM something. Tapos sasabihin ko sa sarili ko na isang episode lang talaga papanoodin ko. Tapos matutulog na ako. Hanggang sa natapos ko na yung isang episode at nag-isa pa akong episode, tapos isa pa. Kasi 'di ba, ang ganda na nung nangyayari. So, hanggang sa hindi ko na namamalayan, yung oras ko is 11 na pala. So, ayun, boom, puyat tayo. Pero, nagigising naman ako ng maaga. Kasi yung body clock ko kasi sanay na talaga siya magising ng 7 o'clock. Kaya, ayun, sobrang sumasakit ang ulo ko. So, kahit gano'n naman din yung gawa ko, may oras pa rin ako sa pag-aaral. Sa pag-review ng mga lessons ko, sa paggawa ng reports ko, and sa paggawa din ng mga assignments ko. So, hindi ko talaga sila pinababayaan. Ako kasi yung tipo ng tao na pag may sinend na activity or assignments, ginagawa ko na agad. And hindi ko na siya pinapatagal pa kasi yung mindset ko kasi is ayokong matambakan. So, natataranta kasi ako pag ganun. Kaya, ayun, mas inuuna ko tong pag-aaral ko bago ako manood ng mga K-drama or ng Netflix. Ayan, so gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo na basta limit your screen time and there is nothing wrong naman to do such things like that. Kasi, basta don't forget your schoolworks and make sure na bago tayo mag-online games and manood, may natapos ka na ng schoolworks mo para wala ka ng alalahanin. Okay? Okay. Okay, next one is feeling overwhelmed. So, being promoted to the next grade is an exciting experience. However, many students do not realize that it means there is going to be a relatively more advanced curriculum. and an increased workload. So when they enter the new classes, they feel overwhelmed with the pile of homework they are required to do every day. So they might feel difficulty getting to the grips with the new curriculum as well. Ayan. So, napagdaanan ko to. Alam kong hindi lang ako, kundi tayong lahat. Ayan. So, after nating graduate ng senior high, super excited tayo kasi 'di ba? Wow, college life na. College na tayo, parang kailan lang. Pero hindi natin alam na sa college maraming naghihintay sa atin. Naghihintay ng mga schoolworks, paperworks na kailangan nating tapusin on time. Sabi nga dito, when they enter the new class, they feel overwhelmed with the pile of homework they are required to do every day. Ayan, so yung tipong kakatapos mo lang sa isa mong activity, maya-maya makikita mo may sinend na naman na another activity, 'di ba? Ayan, or hindi ka pa tapos sa isang activity and then makikita mo may another activity na naman na sinend. So ayun, nakakataranta, 'di ba? Lalo na ako minsan pag ganun. Runs muna ako bago gawa. Pero kahit nagre-runs ako, nagpapasa talaga ako on time. Kasi syempre, dito nakasalala yung grades ko and iniisip ko na lang na lahat ng ginagawa ko to is may mapupuntahan. So, hindi siya masasayang and ayun, kahit ganun pa man, I'm so happy kasi nalalagpasan natin yon. And alam ko na lahat ng paghihirap natin ay masusuklian din balang araw. Okay. So, fight lang. Fighting. Okay. So, next one is poverty. Okay. Poverty has a significant impact on student learning. So, there has been much research to support this premise. Students living in affluent, well-educated homes and communities are far more academically successful, while those living in poverty are typically behind academically. Poverty is a difficult obstacle to overcome. It follows generation after generation and becomes the accepted norm, which makes it almost impossible to break. So, though education is a significant part of breaking the grip of poverty, most of the students are so far behind academically that they will never get that opportunity. Ayan. So, malaking epekto talaga yung poverty sa ating pag-aaral and maraming mga bata talaga ang hindi nakakapag-aral kasi wala silang pera pang baon. Hindi kaya masustentuhan yung mga needs nila sa school. Tapos, kunwari, naka-enroll ka man sa school, pero pupunta ka ng school nang wala kang kinakain, basta yung sapatos mo or nakachinelas ka lang. And yung bag mo, kunwari, is yung plastic bag lang. So, nakakaawa talaga. Kaya sana, family planning din kasi kung alam mong mahirap na nga sitwasyon nyo, so, please lang, huwag na tayong gumawa ng baby. Kasi yung baby nyo lang din naman yung mahihirapan. And sana, pag naging teacher na tayo in the future, tapos may ma-encounter tayong ganitong students natin, so, please, tulungan natin sila. Lalo na kapag nakikita mo talaga na porsigido sila mag-aral. So, ayun, help natin sila. Okay, next. Okay, poor attendance. Students can't learn if they aren't at school. Missing just 10 days of school each year from kindergarten to 12th grade adds up to missing almost an entire school year by the time they graduate. So, some students have the ability to overcome poor attendance, but many who have a chronic attendance problem fall behind and stay behind. Schools must hold students and parents accountable for consistent excessive absences and should have a solid attendance policy in place that specifically addresses excessive absences. Teachers cannot do their jobs if students are not required to show up every day. Ayan. So, poor attendance. So, maraming mga bata ang nag-a-absent sa school dahil tinatamad sila pumasok, 'di ba? Or ayaw lang nila mag-aral. So, paano nga naman sila matututo kung wala sila sa paaralan, 'di ba? So, isa rin 'to sa mga na-face na challenge ng mga students natin ngayon. Kasi syempre, 'di ba, pag kunwari exams niyo na, tapos sumulpot ka lang sa school niyo kasi exams. So, ano isasagot mo dun sa exams mo, 'di ba? Kung palagi kang absent, okay? Okay, next. Poor parental support. So, parents are typically the most influential people in every aspect of a child's life. So, this is especially true when it comes to education. Typically, if the parents value education, their children will be academically successful. Parental involvement is essential to educational success. Parents who provide their children with a solid foundation before school begins and stay involved throughout the school year will reap the benefits as their children become successful. By contrast, parents who are minimally involved with their child's education have a significant negative impact. This can be extremely frustrating for teachers and makes for a continuous uphill battle. Many times, these students are behind when they start school due to a lack of exposure, and it is extremely difficult for them to catch up. These parents believe it is the school's job to educate and not theirs when, and actually, there needs to be a dual partnership for the child to be successful. Ayan. So, poor parental support can affect the student's learning din. Syempre nga naman, 'di ba? Dapat una pa lang, magulang na agad yung magbibigay ng support sa iyo sa pag-aaral mo. And bago ka pa pumasok ng kinder, syempre, tinuruan ka muna ng magulang mo magbasa ng ABC, magsulat ng name mo, and magbilang ng mga numbers and so on. And parents are typically the most influential people in every aspect of a child's life. Ayan, lalo na pagdating sa ating education. Kung ang isang magulang ay pinahahalagahan niya ang edukasyon ng kanyang anak, then maganda ang kalalabasan nito and magiging successful pa yung mga anak mo. And syempre, hindi rin naman natin maiiwasan na merong mga parents din talaga na hindi nila sinusuportahan yung learning ng mga anak nila. Maybe because they are busy or what. And dahil doon, nagkakaroon yun ng negative impact sa kanilang mga anak. Ayan, so next tayo. Okay, bullying. So bullying is not a new problem, but it is one that has a profound impact on the learning aptitude of many students today. Technology has given bullies even more avenues to torment their victims through social networking, texting, and other virtual interactions. Cyberbullying has become a major issue for schools, as evidenced by the number of suicides that can be directly traced to bullying events. The fact that laws are still fuzzy regarding cyberbullying adds to the challenge, since parents, teachers, and administrators are unsure of how to legally handle such issues. Okay. So, ayun nga. Sabi dito, bullying is not a new problem. At hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin maubos-ubos ang mga taong nambubully. Lalo na pag nabully ka, grabe ang epekto nito sa bata, lalo sa kanyang pag-aaral. Andiyan na yung hindi ka papasok sa school kasi takot ka na baka makita mo ulit yung nambubully sa'yo. So, di ka na makakapag-aral ng maayos kasi mas iniisip mo yung mga ginawa sa'yo ng taong nambubully sa'yo. So, mahirap yung ganun. Kaya dapat, iwasan na natin or tigilan na natin yung mangbully ng kapwa natin tao, kapwa natin estudyante kasi hindi po maganda. Okay po? Okay. Next po tayo. So, dito, meron tayong mga specific types of bullying. And these are homophobic bullying based on your sexual orientation, racist bullying because of your skin color or ethnicity, religious bullying because of your beliefs or faith, sizist bullying referring to your body size, sexist bullying focusing on you being of the opposite sex, cyberbullying targeting you online, often anonymously. Yeah, bullying because you are different. Okay. Pero kahit anong types of bullying man yan, please lang, tigilan na po natin. Okay po? Okay, next tayo. Ayan, so get help for bullying. So, sinama ko din to sa PPT ko, yung get help for bullying. In case na may kilala kayong taong binubully, help natin sila. And ignoring bullying won't make it go away. So, you need to tell someone about what is happening. So, if the bullying is happening at school, first is, you should talk to your parents, carers, and your teachers. Kasi, baka wala silang ka-idea na ikaw ay binubully na. And para magkaroon din ng anti-bullying policy sa school nyo. And if you feel you can speak to your teacher, maybe a friend can do it for you. So, you can also speak to a school counselor, welfare officer, or nurse. And in extreme cases, if bullying is interfering with your education, it may be possible for you to change schools if it doesn't stop once you have reported it. And if the bullying is happening outside school, you should talk to your parents or carers, close relatives such as grandparents, aunties, and uncles, or even your friends' parents. So, youth workers and leaders may be able to help too. Ayan, para aware din sila na nabubully ka na pala. So, you should talk to them. And if the bullying is happening online, tell a trusted adult, your parents or carers, or a teacher. So you can report abusive posts on Facebook and other social media platforms. You can also report abuse to CEOP or Child Exploitation and Online Protection Center. Ayan. So next, meron din ako mga tips from young people like you. So, your worth and who you are as a person is not defined by other people. Be yourself and you will flourish. I know it is hard right now and everything feels like it's against you, but please speak out and tell someone. Letting it out will make you feel so much better. Ito pa. You are worth so much more than you think. Being bullied is scary, painful, and really hard, but you don't have to suffer in silence. Speak to someone you trust to let them know what is happening, and together, you can work to make it better. Ayan. So, let us keep reporting the bullying until it stops, guys. So, maaring hindi man natin ito matigil agad sa unang pagkakataon na sinabi mo yun sa mga parents mo or sa mga pinagkakatiwalaan mong tao. And kapag nagpatuloy pa din yung pambubuli sa'yo, sabihin mo ulit yun sa kanila hanggang sila ay matigil. Matigil na sa kanilang pangbubuli. Kasi, 'di ba, no one deserves to be bullied. Okay po? Okay, next. So, andito pa rin tayo sa main problems the students face in school. So, first, next ay exam stress. So, it is normal to feel a bit worried about exams, especially if you're under pressure from school or family. Exam stress can cause you to feel anxious or depressed. And this might affect your sleeping or eating habits. Ayan. Ayan, pag exams talaga, na-stress na talaga tayo niyan malala, tapos wala pa tayong review. Tapos, di ba dati, ang exam natin online lang. So, tapos mga kasama mo pa sa bahay, maiingay, makukulit. So, hindi ka talaga makapag-focus. So, damang-dama ko to talaga, yung hindi ka makapag-isip ng maayos kasi ang ingay ng mga nasa paligid mo. Tapos, pressure ka pa sa oras kasi may time limit, yung pagsasubmitan mo ng exam. And dagdag mo pa yung internet connection yun na napakatagal talaga, nakakaiyak na lang. So, struggle is real, 'di ba? And syempre, sobrang nakaka-apekto talaga ito sa ating pag-aaral. And nagkakos din ito sa atin ng pagkakaroon ng mababang grades. So, sa ibang tao, pag nagkaroon sila ng mababang grades, iisipin talaga nila yon. Katulad ko, kunwari sa math, up to 55 yon, tapos nakuha ko 27 lang. So, grabe na yung overthink ko nun. So, natutulala na lang ako, and minsan naiiyak pa ako kasi maaring maapektuhan talaga nito yung pagtulog ko, pati na din yung eating habits ko. Kaya ang ginawa ko nun is, dinamdam ko na muna yon. Tapos, after nun, sinabi ko sa sarili ko na babawi ako sa midterm. So, paghuhusayin ko pa kasi alam ko sa sarili ko na may ihuhusay pa ako. And ayun nga, nung nag-midterm exam na kami sa math, nag-improve naman siya kahit papano, di ba? At least, may improvement. So, may ginawa ako. Okay. Next. Okay. If you recognize any of these feelings or are worried that exam pressure is taking over your life, you are not alone and there are things you can do. Okay. Let your trusted friends and family know if you are struggling so that they can be there to support you, encourage you, and offer a listening ear. You don't have to go through this alone. Keeping it all in will only make it things worse in the long run. So, don't be afraid to open up. So, ayun nga, yung nakuha kong score, diba, yung nakuha kong score sa math is mababa. In-open up ko talaga yun kila mama, sa mga friends ko, ayan. Ang gaan lang kasi talaga sa pakiramdam, kaya huwag kayo matakot mag-share. And next, ask for help. Think about all the practical support you need and be honest with yourself about it. You are allowed to ask for help. Talk through your concern with your teacher, tutor who can let you know what support your school college or uni can offer you. Ayan, so di mo kailangan magsinungaling sa sarili mo na okay ka kahit hindi naman talaga. Kaya naman, you are allowed to ask for help. So, madami kang pwedeng paghingian ng tulong. Wala namang masama sa paghingi ng tulong po, diba? Next, try finding a study group or start your own. Working through problems with other students can be a nice way to keep your social life going and boost your morale. Okay po? Okay. Next is be kind to yourself. Think about all the things you have achieved so far. It can be helpful to write a list of all the things you like about yourself and the things other people value about you too. If people around you, like your parents or family, are putting pressure on you, it can help to tell them what you feel able to achieve and let them know that your expectations are different to theirs. You could also talk to a teacher you trust about the pressure you are under at home. So, pag may gantong pangyayari, isipin na lang natin, isipin mo na lang lahat ng mga na-achieve mong mga awards so far. And huwag mo isipin na dahil lang sa isang pagkakamali mo, baliwala na lahat ng mga pinagpaguran mo. So, huwag mo masyadong i-stress sarili mo dahil pwede pa naman tayo bumawi, 'di ba? And grades doesn't define who you are naman. And kung pinipressure ka naman ng mga kasama mo sa bahay, well, hayaan mo lang sila kasi di naman nila alam kung ano yung pinagdadaanan mo Kung ano yung pagod and sacrifice na ginagawa mo sa pag-aaral mo, 'di ba? And pwede mo din naman sabihin sa kanila na wag na sila masyado mag-expect basta ginagawa mo po yung best mo. Pero para aware din naman sila na napapagod ka din and nahihirapan ka din. Kaya don't be hard to yourself po, okay? Next tayo is about naman dealing with disappointing exam results. Ayun nga, so speak to someone. Speak to people who will help you stay calm and who you can talk to about how you're feeling. And ayan, breathe, don't panic, it's organic. Joke. So take a moment to breathe, just like what I did before. And take your time. So remember, you don't need to make any snap decisions in the heat of the moment. So alam naman natin na pag mainit ulo natin, nakakagawa tayo ng mga pangit na desisyon. So magpakalma muna tayo. Inhale and exhale muna. And then, pag wala na yung init ng ulo natin, ayun, saka na tayo mag-iisip ng kung ano po yung gagawin natin. Okay po? Okay, next. Okay, and if you are experiencing any of these problems, ayan, so meron tayong pwedeng gawin dyan. Kaya naman, what you can do if you're struggling at school. Okay, first, if you're worried about anything at school, it is important to talk to a trusted adult like your class tutor or your parents' carer as soon as possible. They can help you to talk with the school about the problems you are struggling with and how you want support. If your problem is with your teacher or tutor, you can speak to another teacher at your school who you feel comfortable with. Ayan, so kung mapapansin nyo, palaging sinasabi dito na makipag-usap ka sa mga taong pinagkakatiwalaan mo like your friends, parents, or pwede rin sa mga teachers kasi matutulungan ka talaga nila and mababawasan din yung mga dala-dala mo dyan sa dibdib mo po. And kung sa teacher naman daw yung problema mo, you can talk to your other teachers kung saan mas feel mong comfortable ka. Okay po? And if you're being bullied at school, you need to tell someone like your teacher or your parents or carer. By telling your teacher what is going on, it will help your school tackle the issue. Your school will often have a set of way of helping students. So, ayun, kapag binuli ka agad, sumbong mo agad, huwag kang matakot. Di dapat kinakatakutan yung mga yun. So, dapat gumawa agad tayo ng actions. Okay po? Okay, next. Okay, try to spend time with people that you feel comfortable talking to. If you are struggling with other students or teachers, spending time with family or friends you might have outside of the school can help. They can support you and remind you that people do value you. So, sa pakikipag-usap sa mga taong comfortable ka, mafe-feel mo talaga sa kanila na mahalaga ka and your feelings matter. And if you have specific difficulties such as dyslexia, ADHD, dyspraxia, or autism, you can get support from your school's special educational needs coordinator or SENCO. So SENCOs are there to make sure that you get the right support during lessons and can give you extra help. So always remember that you are not alone, and there are people who will listen to you and support you through these difficult times. Okay? Next. So, syempre, bago tayo magtapos, may tips ulit ako sa inyo, okay? So, tips to overcome these challenges. So, first is, make a plan. Drawing a study plan helps you find a balance that you are comfortable with. It also helps in developing good study habits and establish good study routines, which ensures that all subjects are studied. Hence, it is important to have an effective timetable to help you manage the time spent on each subject. Ayan. So, syempre, dapat may plano tayo. Unahin natin yung pagpaplano kung saan may magandang view tayo para mag-aral. Yung kalma lang, tahimik. Ayan, kasi 'di ba syempre nakaka-motivate mag-aral kapag ganun yung study room mo, 'di ba? And para hindi mo rin makalimutan yung mga gagawin mo, pwede tayo magsulat sa sticky notes and dikit lang natin kung saan nakikita natin yun araw-araw. So para ma-remind din tayo kung ano yung gagawin natin. So maganda talaga na meron tayong plano sa lahat para maganda rin yung kalalabasan ng gagawin natin. And ayun, hindi rin tayo mai-stress, mas madadalian pa tayo mag-aral kasi maayos and naka-organize na yung mga gagawin natin. Okay, next. Prioritize your feelings. So, ayan. Emotions can affect the learner at different stages of the learning process. Take some time to feel what you feel, okay? This could come in the form of meditation. Or, if you'd rather write down what you feel, writing can be a therapeutic and cathartic experience. When you feel and share your feelings, you may also be able to see your situation in a new light. This exercise could lead you to come up with the noble situations for overcoming any challenges at hand. Ayan, so prioritize your feelings kasi nga, 'di ba, our feelings matter. So, take your time lang to feel what you feel. Wag natin madaliin yun kasi hindi naman yun agad-agad. So, mag-share tayo. Ayan. Di talaga mawawala yung sharing dito kasi sobrang mahalaga yun and effective talaga yun para gumaan yung loob natin. Okay, next. Learning support. Ayan. So, learning support is a way to ensure that all learners can make progress and achieve according to their potential. Basically, a responsive education system is an inclusive education system. Learning support provides a platform to transform and guide teaching towards the essential support system that teachers need. So, syempre, iba pa rin talaga pag meron tayong learning support na natatanggap sa mga magulang man natin or sa mga teachers. Ibang level talaga yun na bibigyan nito sa mga tao. So, pag sinusuportahan mo sila sa kanilang learning journey, maganda yung kakalabasan nito in the future. So, madami kang ma-achieve sa buhay and may improve pa yung mga skills and abilities mo. Okay pa? Next. Visualize big. Ayan. Gusto ko to. It can be easy to let yourself think small because of the fear of failure or even the fear of making decision. But to accomplish great things in life, you have to be open to taking risks. With whatever challenges may arise, always think and dream big. That way, you will achieve more than you could have ever imagined. Try not to let your thoughts get in your own way. Okay, ayan. Visualize big. So, mangarap tayo ng malaki. Di naman kasi masama mangarap eh. Di masama mangarap ng sobrang taas. Alam nyo ba na ganun yung ginagawa ko kapag nafe-feel ko na tinatamad na ako sa lahat. So, sa totoo lang, once na tinatamad na ako gawin yung mga schoolworks ko, iniisip ko na lang agad yung pangarap ko na kailangan ko to gawin para ma-achieve ko to. Kailangan ko to matapos agad kasi ganito, ganyan, and ayun, bigla na naman akong sisipagin. So, kumbaga, pag naiisip mo yun, namomotivate ka eh. Namomotivate ka gawin yon dahil gusto mo ma-achieve yung dream mo na yon. Yeah, so, visualize big tayo dahil hindi po yun masama. Okay, next. Okay, last slide na siguro to. Help others. Okay. Helping others is not only good for them and a good thing to do, but it is also make us happier and healthier too. Giving also connects us to others, creating stronger communities and helping to build a happier society for everyone. And it's not all about money. We can also give our time, ideas, and energy. So, ito lang ha. Iba yung feeling kapag nakakatulong ka talaga sa iba. Kasi, feeling ko kapag kunwari may humingi ng tulong sa akin ng isang tao, feeling ko ako yung, pinadala ni Lord sa kanya para tulungan siya. Ganon. So, iba yung saya kapag nakakatulong ka tapos makita mo na yung tinulungan mo is okay na, they are doing good na, they're fine, and masaya na sila. Ayun, makita mo lang silang ganun, sobrang saya mo na eh. And syempre, ang pagtulong sa kapwa, hindi lahat tungkol sa pera. Dahil ayun nga, sa pamamagitan lang ng pakikinig sa kanya, pagbibigay mo lang ng oras sa kanya, malaking bagay na yun sa kanila. Yun po. Okay, next. Okay, wala na pala. Last slide na pala talaga yon. So, that would be all po about sa challenge learners. And I hope marami kayong natutunan. And don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell button para ma-notify kayo sa next na video kong gagawin. Okay, thank you po. Bye!